Hello there, YouTube. Hello there, Internet. Pardon me. As I said yesterday, I've been coming down with something. I've got a bit of a cold, bit of a cough. But I did say I was going to stream today, so we're going to continue with hardcore playthrough as Toad. I kind of, you know, appropriate build, given that it's all about spitting and coughing up terrible things, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. Anyway, the less detail I go into there, the better, I suppose. Give me one moment here, because my chat isn't really behaving. Anyway, that's fine. Hopefully it'll sort itself out. And we'll get started, get into Act 3. Act 3 is a big act. I don't think I'll be able to get it done in one day.
Let the games begin.
On the other hand, it is Sunday and I don't really have anything else to do. So if I stream for a couple of hours instead of one, maybe we just get it done. Now, the thing of interest here is that the build that we're using is spit focused, and that is not the strong build for Toad. Now, Toad is a strong character. He's going to be good no matter what sort of build you use. He's never going to be terrible. But his Tongue Strike build is much better. The main reason for that is Secretion is a phenomenally powerful buff. Phenomenally powerful. Because you have these two multiplicative, both of which are also, multiplicative with each other. So these are buffs that are occurring at the very like take all your damage, and it's 26% in it's multiplied rather than adding it on to the end, if you see what I'm saying, and that's very significant. When you're buffing your damage and then multiplying it further, so it's kind of double dipping on itself. Anyway, it's exceptionally powerful ability, but obviously it synergizes much better with physical damage. Physical damage can be buffed much more by gear, more so than elemental damage can, because physical damage gear will be added directly onto this, and then this will be multiplied by these abilities. There's no mechanic like that when it comes to your these kinds of set energy abilities. Anyway, this ability thankfully is bugged. It has an extremely OP DOT that works with damage from gear, and that is essentially bugged with Secretion. Now I'm just wondering where I should put these points, because we kind of also, we said we're not going to use Tongue Whip. It's actually, that's going to be a pretty significant nerf. I was having some fun with Plunder last night though. It's definitely doable. Anyway, we're going to have to get into it, and as I say, I don't know if we really want to pump too many points into Mutant Master. We'll leave it as is for now. I don't want to, because normally I'm very confident with my build because I know what.
Yes, department. Thank you.
I don't need to think about how to do a build for Toad if I'm doing tongue skills, because it's too simple. You don't even put more than 1 point in any of your attack skills. You just use Secretion and Tongue Mastery and Critical Strike to amplify their damage. Much later in the game, you might start chucking the occasional point into his normal, like, one target Bosch Tongue Strike. Now, I'm trying to think where I should go first, the Infinite Factory or the Core. The Core,
Oh, it's one of you. Yeah.
Alright, so here's the thing. The Core is more dangerous to get to the boss, and the boss of the Core is dangerous, but tractable in a sense. That he does a lot of damage, but you can avoid that damage. The Core, the Infinite Factory is kind of the opposite. It's relatively easy to get to the end boss, though it takes a while. The end boss is extremely dangerous, especially if you don't have any big AoE radial extreme, which we don't, because we are using a spit build, so, you know, we can't have nice things. Like Tongue Whip. But it is what it is. If I die, I die, that's fine. But I think this build has been decent so far. You know, anything you can see what I mean about how bugged that is. And then because the DOTs happen at like super speed, these guys have some damage attenuation or something. There's a passive that Wolverine and Sabretooth get that cuts through their stealth, but it's a really bad passive, so I kind of never use it. And I just accept that these guys are gonna be super tanky, but also they're kind of relatively ignorable. Ah, I see a unique. That's super high. Hammer of Eunice, please. Oh, okay. So I have a few criticisms of this game, and that has to be the number one. The fact that these uniques, which you're going to get from the Danger Room anyway, can drop instead of, you know, the unique uniques, the ones that you can only get from the drops. It's just like, it makes getting a unique less exciting, which is sad to me. But yeah, you can see the area denial on this is so nice. But this is one of those areas where you can die, because these guys can bounce you up like that, like I just did to him, except they do it to you. And they can potentially lead you into those tanks, which will insta-kill you. So it's not that big a deal here, it's not particularly dangerous, though it's good to be aware of it. But as we continue on, you will see these guys are also just dangerous in general because of their ability to CC. They can stun, they can knock down, they can pop up. And if you get a bunch of them wailing on you, they'll do all of those things. And they can really keep you locked up for a long time. It can be very hard to like break out. Particularly if you don't have something like an extreme that can just insta-clap them. Yeah, I'm not using... I keep forgetting to use my extreme. I should be using it like on all these big clusters of barrels. I should just pop it. Actually, what I should do is also just be willing to use it for these bigger fights. I mean, it's what I've got, and I might as well use it. It's just, it feels so bad to use it right now because of how... just how little duration you get from it. Damn, I was hoping I would get extreme tokens from some of these barrels so I could instantly just like cast again and take more barrels. Oh, I did. Okay, that's cool. So that's something it can do. That's cool to know. But yeah, this build is all kind of new to me. Like, obviously I've tested it back in the day. I probably tested it against various like danger room scenarios and bosses and stuff. Because that's how I would play around with builds in this game. I'd finish a game and I'd have all these saves of like games in different stages, and even some where I just like played through on hard like 4 or 5 times, and you know, even started pushing up towards the actual level cap of the game, which I think is 99. No, it's 45 or 50 or something. Actually, is it 50? I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's a little bit higher than that. Maybe it is 99. Anyway, it's genuinely been like 20 years since I did this. But I knew I would get them up near max level on some of the saves, and then just do things like, you know, have that set where I've done that and no one has had to buy or redistribute yet, so that you know, I can like have that save and buy or redistribute for someone and test out a build and just like, oh, I don't like that, I just go back to the save and, you know, and then try something else. And that's how I would kind of test it. And the best place to test stuff like that was just messing around in the danger room. Because in the different danger room scenarios, you get a nice balance of like, oh, okay, here's one where I'm just going to be like swarmed by regular enemies. You know, here's one where I have to take on this act boss or this tough single boss. The only thing you don't get in the danger room is like elite packs. Pardon me. But yeah, so it's like, if this is what we have and we, you know, we might as well be using the extreme tokens and getting some value from it, even if that value is minimal. This is a pretty scary situation, actually. Yeah. I do like that little cackle. I mean, we do get some pretty spicy drops when we have it procced. It's pretty fun. It's definitely a nice ability for the dopamine, you know? I'm always in favor of that. Like, you have to build to have fun. Because it doesn't matter how optimal the build is if you don't enjoy it. I can't believe I messed that up. It's such a waste to get a speed tech station, but I remember where the tech stations are, I just don't remember what each one of them gives. I mean, I genuinely, like, you know, if there's any kind of palaver involved in getting it, I will just happily skip. Just look at all this energy, like, you know, if we needed it. We're not exactly running short. So that's interesting. I'm guessing if you have Plunder up, it really helps with your energy economy and presumably your extreme economy as well. Maybe I should... Like, I genuinely am tempted to, like, get a late game save of Toad, like a proper Toad build with the tongue skills. And just test out how it works using Plunder.
All I have to do is slow.
And these guys, very dangerous when they have nasty auras like that. Because as you can see, it's not like you can burst them down quickly and get rid of the threat that they represent with the aura. And they love to kind of run all over the place, so this is another really scary aura. Luckily, this guy is proving to be like just a CC monster with this, just sliming everywhere. it's very, very safe against anything that wants to rush you down at the very least. But I'm curious to see how it goes against Sugarman. Sugarman, I would say, is the first boss in this game who is, like, genuinely dangerous. Because he can, like, if he just wails on you with, like, a full combo, he can just straight kill you. Where'd that jerk-ass go? Man, it can be so tanky for no reason. I get it. It's there to, like... It's kind of there to try and bully you into getting a bad ability and bringing either Sabretooth or Wolverine on this mission. Which, honestly, if you think about it, if you're like an X-Men nerd, you're playing this game, you're like, oh, these guys keep running away. You know, oh, maybe Sabretooth and Wolverine have something. You look at enhanced senses and you put 7 skill tags in it. And only after you put 7 skill tags in it does it actually tell you, you know, reveals hidden enemies. Which is like, these guys aren't even necessarily hidden, but they have like a kind of quote-unquote hidden mode that gives them like enormous damage reduction. And they can also just cloak themselves, but I'm fairly certain if you have enhanced senses to level 7 or 8 or whatever it is, it just allows you to cut through those guys like butter. They can't put up that damage attenuation, I think. I'm not a fan of that. That's like a bad ethos to me, game design wise, is it's like, make the ability good. Like, make the ability just worth getting. Like, don't put an enemy in the game to punish you for not having the ability. That said, you know, there are fundamental things that they do, you know, that you get punished for not having, right? Like, and I think that's okay in games like this. There's nothing wrong with that, you know. If you have low resistances, you get punished by...
No.
Why did Patrick Stewart just say no?
Nuh-uh.
I swear Patrick Stewart just said no. I didn't hallucinate that. This is on a stream and I can check. Anyway. I should be a loot goblin. There's no reason not to be, considering... at least some of the power of this build is in getting more loot, so I'll try to make the best of that by farming up money and so on. Oh, okay, that's a nice upgrade.
Luckily, one size fits all.
I get so many annoying, like, plus mental damage. Okay, I would rather have the energy. So we get rid of that. Get rid of that. Shake that, shake that, shake that healthy suit. Beautiful. And we just want to continue pumping body and focus. Good stuff. Get secretion when we can get it. Get spit mastery when we can get it. I wonder if this is worth... Yeah, I think it's best to save that for enemies, particularly elites. A kind of a danger that I'm anticipating, which is like, if I'm anticipating, it shouldn't be a danger, but that, you know, that's not always how that works. But it's like very kind of ingrained muscle memory for me in this game that like that ulting is like a panic button, right? So I think, oh, here's something nasty, I'm ulting, alright, I don't need to worry about it anymore. Like either it's all dead or now I'm invincible or whatever. And I have to try to be conscious of the fact that here, it's just to give me more loot. So it doesn't give me any added safety or margin for error or anything. But the EP cost of this, like I said, it would, like, obviously it doesn't go down, but as my EP pool and EP regen goes up and the cost of this stays the same because of just the nature of how it works, we only ever need to put 1 point in it. I don't know that it's honestly worth ulting this. It would be if I had an ability where I could like confidently break all of these before the ult runs out. But I'm not confident enough of my movement. Ugh. Either way, we looted anyway. They can see over the roof, but it is what it is. Kites them over.
Now you know, don't mess with Toad.
The CC is so nice. You know, that's what's going to make this build safe to the extent that it can be. Just the fact that we lock things down so nicely and just lock up space. Kaboom. It's nice to have secretion just to move a little bit faster as well. I think I was waxing poetic about the value of flight in that context in a previous playthrough. Flight is also just... flight is one of those things that you will... It doesn't feel like it's that useful in a single player run, aside from like, you know, a traditional like four player run. Flight can feel like, oh, okay, yeah. It's just kind of like, if I have to backtrack and run, like here I'm, you know, backtracking quite a bit. It's like, oh, well, it makes that smoother, it makes that nicer. You know, if there's just a big map, it's nice to be able to move around it fast, blah, blah, blah. Generally speaking, there's a couple of areas where it's like, oh, okay, I can path up to there more easily where I can fly. But aside from that, it's just like, okay, there's a handful of places in the game where you just can't reach it unless you have flight or teleport. And it feels like that's what those abilities are for. But if you play this game solo, you will actually learn to love being able to fly. Like, in combat, even though it's dangerous, because if you get hit while you're flying, you get like hard CC knockdown, and that can easily get you killed. But like, there are situations like, okay, you're being chased by a bunch of, you know, bugs or something, melee enemies, and you physically need to like get some space on them. You need to be somewhere else. Like, you're gonna die if you can't get out of this spot, this corner, this whatever. Like, flight can give you so many options when it comes to that. Or just like use it to run away from stuff. Like, running away is really nice, especially if you're a ranged character. like having the power to run away is really strong, and not having to run for like a minute to sort of draw kite something and deal with it. Okay, that was weird. That was like I just got freaking frame drop or something in this ancient game. But yeah, yesterday I was talking about finding a game that I could stream a little bit more long term, because as much as I love this game and I feel like, you know, I could definitely do challenge content for it, but it will run out. The challenge content will run out. It's not like Diablo 2 or something where you know, you have this kind of huge complicated puzzle to fill in that like part of it is your build, part of it is gear, and then there's a luck element and you have to do all this farming to like complete your setup. And you know, like, so challenge runs in a game like that just very naturally exciting from a viewership standpoint, because you know, there's kind of like these Rocky training montage moments where it's like, oh, okay, we can't beat this boss now, but we gotta go farm, you know, levels. We gotta go farm gear. We gotta find something. We gotta make something. You know, we gotta get a stew going. And the way to do that is just to grind. And that's just not really how this game works. Like, I can't really get better gear than I'm using now. Like, there are incremental bonuses that I could get, like 2 damage here, 3 damage there, a little bit of resistances on top of the damage, or what have you. Or I get really lucky with a rare and, you know, get, instead of like, let's say 15 energy damage, it'll be like 15 energy damage and 10 physical damage. So, you know, just kind of double dipping like that. And that could be super nice. The places don't really exist, unfortunately, where you can easily like target farm gear like that. Your only real option is to like target farm credits and then gamble with the grab bag at the shop, and that is unbelievably grindy. And the only way to not make it like unbelievably like crazily grindy is to kind of, there's some like end game locations where you can hard farm credits. So you can't really do it pre-end game. And here we are coming up on one of the most dangerous areas in the game, because they love to have these guys who can knock you into the water here on the flanks. We'll just play this super safe. We can kite literally everything back to this doorway if need be. It's like they can hide in here sometimes. And yes, very rare example of seeing me tweaking my camera. And yeah, these guys, not afraid of fighting them near the pit because they don't have any way of booping you. But these guys, just make sure they are between you and the pit and not the other way around, or your entire run can end in an instant. And we have to come up here so we can lower these into the water, and then we can activate it. If we activate it before lowering them, you just start taking a DOT and then that's the last thing you want, is to be rushed when you're already trying to do this area and be really safe.
Now you know, don't mess with Toad.
But yeah, as I say, so challenge runs in this game, you know, they can be done. It's just like, you know, it's not the kind of the well of challenge runs that a game like Diablo or something could be. You know, a lot of challenge runs in games like Diablo revolve around gear restrictions rather than just build restrictions, and all you can really do in this game is build restrictions. You could do gearless, but that's fundamentally the same challenge for every character, and all it is just a massive damage nerf. But you can... So even if you have no gear to get damage from, you can still get... So even if I can't just have gear that gives me like plus 50 mental damage, say, I could have gear that gives me plus focus, which gives me mental damage, as well as giving me like energy regen and extra energy. So it's not like gear that gives you damage in this game is 100% optimal. You want to stack the shit out of it, but if you don't have it, if you don't have access to it, like if you're doing a hard start no gear, which is something you can do, and it's a decent challenge run, you'll friggin' throw on anything. Anything can help. Especially because later game gear gives pretty big gains. So, you know, a later game gear piece, instead of giving you like 4% resistance, you know, if you're doing a hard gear no start and you find some gear that gives resistance, it's going to be like, I don't know, 25-30% resistance to, like, let's say, mental damage. And like lots of stuff does mental damage. That's really nice to have.
Well, good.
That was weird. Could not move at all. It just hit stun? Anyway. Yeah, so I'd be happy to do challenge runs for this game, but it would have to... It wouldn't be something where I could, like, do a challenge run and stream every day and, you know, it wouldn't last more than, I don't know, a month or something. Because ultimately it's like, okay, well I have gearless hard start is another challenge. You know, gearless hard start with like, I don't know, a particularly weak set of characters or a bad team or something. But then it's like, okay, gearless hard start solo. And there's only so many characters that can even do that.
Don't have enough energy.
Like some characters just physically cannot, they will never make it out of that first area. They'll just run out of energy and then not be able to kill stuff and then get beaten up and then run out of health potions and then die. I mean, probably not in that first area. It'll be way more slow and prolonged and horrible than that. But you could also just randomly get burst down because you can't kill things quickly enough. And with the exception of like a handful of characters in the game that are genuinely invincible, okay. You get on that side of me. But yeah, with the exception of a few builds in the game that are like genuinely or borderline invincible, the gameplay, the strat has to be kill shit before it kills me. Or kite it or CC it or whatever. Anyway. So gearless hard start is just not feasible for a lot of characters, but it's a challenge for the ones who can't do it. The thing is, it's a challenge until you start finding gear, and you will find gear. but it's a challenge. And you could do well. Like, I mean, this technically is a challenge run because we're using a suboptimal build on an otherwise strong character. So, you know, there are some build-based challenge runs, I suppose. I could try to do a build for Rogue based around like power theft and energy overflow, which I know for a fact are like they're really bad because there's almost nothing to actually steal powers from in this game. Most of the enemies are not considered to be mutants. So you're basically just going to be using power theft to occasionally look for powers to steal, find nothing, and then just have to kill everything with energy overflow, which is not a strong ability by any stretch. But, you know, you'd have to work something out with your build, like have that and Prism Shield or something. It's doable. So I guess that's another option. A power theft slash... Man, what's with all these rares? I like it. Pardon me. I'm so scared to touch this microphone, and I like will tap the mute button, but you've got to like push it in quite sturdily. And I'm really nervous about manhandling this thing now that I've finally got it, you know, at least working to like a decent standard. Which reminds me, I probably can turn the in-game sounds up now that I have this microphone, but I'll probably test all that stuff in a private stream at some point, so things don't get messed up for you guys.
All I have to do is slow.
Yeesh. Stop running away. Alright, that's it. Yes, get cornered by the xenomorph acid. Die. Melt. Get out of here. On your bike. Anyway, I really hate those guys. Oh my gosh, what was I just saying about a challenge build that I could do? Oh, that's right. Energy Overflow Rogue. Yeesh.
All I have to do is slow you.
Oh my gosh, the health regeneration. Love the xenomorph acid does a number on stuff. It's super nice. Just the way it locks him down. And dare I do this jump? It's very doable, but I'm just a coward at heart. And it's Quest 1 Act 1 if I fall in that water. There's no save. Just got a text. Yeah, coming up on the boss now. There's still a little bit of faffing about before we can actually get to him. A couple of little quest doovers to jiggling. It was Patrick Stewart again. You heard that? I swear. Is there like a form of psychosis that's like known for just having Patrick Stewart randomly, you know, you randomly have auditory hallucinations of Patrick Stewart just saying no?
Did you want something?
We don't want that. We don't want that. We don't want that.
Any questions?
You know what? A couple of extra points are a couple of extra points. Supreme. Ah, okay. Just does some things. Ah, but this one does even better things. Looks like we are going with the Kree mantle.
100%.
So we see the looting ability comes in clutch. I mean, no reason why we couldn't have found that without it, but it's still nice. And what do we have here? A little bit more secretion, a little bit more spit mastery. And back into the fray. I'm actually like hyped to properly, you know, get Plunder up to the point where it will last, you know, 20 seconds or something. So it's on, you know, I can kind of have it up all the time, or at least not have to like really think to myself before using it. Like, there's very little point using it with these guys around unless I see a big clump of barrels or something, just because these guys take so long to chip down. But as I said, super hyped to unlock the other spit ability that's going to kind of round the build out and just see what it does. Maybe there's enough. That wasn't worth it. But I'll get the hang of using it. Let's just get into a corner here. And let them enjoy the acid. Get out of here. Shh. But yes, I was discussing games that I could stream, you know, where I feel like there's more of like a deeper well of gameplay, I suppose. And I have found that I can actually stream Marvel Rivals, so that could be fun. I'll try some ranked and see if I can. I don't know, at least get to like you know, I think gold you get the rank like skins or something. I feel like I should be able to get to gold, but who knows?
A trespasser.
Oh my gosh, it's just going everywhere except on the enemy.
Need more bloody power to do that. I did it! I won! Need more bloody
Oh my god, why will it not let me? Whatever. These things are extremely frustrating and annoying if you don't have a AoE ability that just kind of breaks them. I forgot there are enemies on that side of it.
Give me someone else to hit!
That's right, I can't go that way yet. I kind of did this the wrong way, I suppose.
A trespasser.
Ugh, I hate when they actually just run away. Like, get out of here. I'm gonna need to grab some energy. Crazy when I think about some of those energy potion drops where the stuff is just like spilling out all over the damn floor. Yeah, obviously I should have gone this side first. A smidge silly of me, but such is life. As some energy potions. Enough to tide me over. Get out of here. Shh. Just melt away. Stop annoying me. And I'll just use these last two potions to zoom Back here. There we go. Room. And as I said, this is actually, it's probably the first, unless you do the core first. But either way, whichever you do first, you're going to have one of the more one of the first genuinely dangerous boss fights. And particularly when you play back through on hard, just flatly two of the most dangerous boss fights in the game. Sugar Man, just because he does so much damage, and he's a glass cannon, but he's a glass cannon, you know, from the standpoint of a boss. Like, you're not going to insta-burst him unless you have...
I guarantee all of it, 100%.
Yeah, unless you have some of the, like, crazy high damage characters. You know, and you just kind of use some really OP wombo combo. Your time to kill is generally going to be higher than his on you. So you're kind of forced to avoid his attacks somehow. Which, you know, a lot of characters can just dance around him and deal with him at range, which is what we're going to try to do with Toad. And it's not that big a fuss with Toad because but as you can see, he's not particularly dangerous when you have the range advantage, and we can just zone him out thanks to the lovely, lovely Xenomorph Acid. You's a lot tougher than you look, pally. So that was Sugar Man, relatively easy, but, you know, always going to be easy if you are quick and have range. There was one moment there, I don't know if it came through in the game where you just were watching. I didn't say anything when it happened, but there was one moment there where I was like, uh-oh. We managed to slip away before he started that combo. And I guess I should be using ult. Now, if I could tweak this game, you know, aside from like maybe fixing some of the more egregious bugs. I would love to do some things like make Plunder just break everything on the screen. Just like, you know, you still obviously have to kill enemies to get their loot drops, but like, at least give it a little AoE, you know, like along with the laugh, where it can break a few barrels or something. I don't know. That to me would be really nice. Because you would get some like instant dopamine from casting it. And now we're going to head to the Infinite Factory, which, as I mentioned, less dangerous for us to just kind of navigate, but much more dangerous boss when we get to the end. Now, oof, that's pricey, but what's the money for if not to be spent? And can definitely do with a bonus skill point. Even when you just like chuck it here. Like all these skills would eventually be maxed at some point. Then we must continue on. There's no, like, as I said, I don't think I'll be able to finish this entire act today, but I can definitely do the core of the Infinite Factory. And the Magi Temple, which is the last mission in the act, is, to me, it's the most fun. It has the best soundtrack.
Watch yourselves.
It's probably less dangerous than the other two, but...
I was sent it. No, you'll have to also keep an eye out. Don't forget. Keep any.
So one of the things I do like about the core is that, like, navigating it, it's fairly linear. I don't do well with, like, reading, at least navigating maps in games. I've never been good at it. It's one of the, like, you know, I would play games like Doom and Wolfenstein and stuff like that. They were new. Get the shareware versions and stuff. And I was always lost. I could never finish them. Because I genuinely got lost, and then I would get, like, super frustrated and just keep turning the same corner, and... Anyway. Some devs do a really good job of making games that, like, shouldn't feel like a maze, never feel like a maze, you know? Like, the challenge is never, oh, okay, which direction do I go? Okay, this is so dangerous. Let me see if I can... Uh-oh. I may just die? No? Oh my god, that was... This is what I said, like, this game is very, very easy. You know, a lot of it you can just kind of play brain AFK, and then, every now and then, it just says, yeah, but I can still kill you. Also, the solution in those fights is, like, never just kind of take a 50-50, if you see what it's like. Never just run at it and think, okay, I'll try to just kill it before it can kill me. Like, you saw one of those infinites took, like, a third of my health with one combo. And that was the elite. But he gives that aura to the others as well. And, you know, if two of them had gone for me, or if one of them had CC'd me and then another had, like, chain CC'd me, like, I would have just probably died.
You need to...
Now these robots can actually do a good chunk of damage. And so we don't actually want to just kind of walk through them and face tank. And these strikers can also do a lot of damage, plus they have a lot of CC. Get out of here. So yeah, we just want to Take it slow. No rush. Just work our way through, and you know, it doesn't matter if it's this game or if it's Diablo, or it's always about just like you know, getting through is just about like you clear your angles and you make your space for yourself, and then you know, if something terrible happens, like you have a way to play it. It's not like, oh, okay, I'm running from a boss pack that can kill me, but I'm running into a boss pack that can kill me because I didn't make any space. Okay. Sometimes you just genuinely get like hung up on the floor in this game. It's super frustrating. Yeah. Urgh. These guys are elites. Oh, scabby elites. So cheap. We drop nothing. Oh, we got an extreme token, I guess. I might have to come back here with someone who has might. These guys are a little bit tricky to hit. Oh my gosh, something absolutely wrecked my health there, and I barely even noticed it.
You can purge the DNA tanks, or you'll have to figure...
Damn, I was hoping to open that before Plunder ran out. I don't know if I did. Might have to grab someone who has might for this. Just want to make sure there's enemies around that they'd be helping us fight.
Colossus.
Keep your eyes on me!
Affirmative.
Alright, big guy. Some stuff you gotta eat.
Way to go.
Now,
My legs grow weak.
that's fine. You have a rest. Get some nice sleep. And I should be able to teleport out. I'm probably gonna miss something in here, but it's fine. I can't do it well and do it fast. And they were cheeky. They just didn't care about the DOT. Just get rid of Colossus's big dopey mug, so it's not, you know, I don't need to explain. Oh, I had to bring you along for this quest essential thing. Ah, oh, très bon. This for Agent Mackenzie. Oui, oui. This guy's out here making those donkey noises. I approve. I quite like donkeys.
You're done for. Toad wins again.
So we're getting a little bit low on energy, and we just got an absolute chunk of it from all those barrels thanks to plunder. That's pretty nice. Pretty decent. It's not the worst. And it lasts for like 18 seconds or something now. Actually, let me check. 22 seconds, not bad. And it'll be 30 seconds next. Okay, so it's going to get up to 45 seconds, I think, which... Oh my gosh, okay. And that boss fight gave me a bit of a fright. Luckily, those big guys, they can stun you, they can chain CC you, but they're usually pretty soft. It's potentially very nice when I'm able to use it. It might not. Wasn't there another rare? I thought there was another rare. Maybe I just didn't pick it up initially. Are you butter? Keep pumping the old Spit Mastery. Man, I'm so hyped to get that. I don't know that I'm gonna get it before the boss fight though, which it would be really nice to have it for the boss fight. Maybe I'll look at danger missions or something. Okay, so I only need one more level up. It's definitely doable. We can definitely get it. I'll probably want leap attack as well, just because it has... I hate that it's odd numbers, driving me absolutely crazy. But yeah, leap attack has some good utility for breaking things, but also, you know, a bit of movement. Oh, that's so dangerous. Okay, so step one. And yeah, it's such a bad place to have a boss pack like that because there's only like one corner before the long ass sightline to actually kite them back to. But look at that, another rare. And it's a belt. Unfortunately, it's terrible, but oh, okay, that's right. That was an upgrade. Very small, but an upgrade nonetheless. I hate these things. I hate them so much. Like,
Need more bloody power to do that.
what am I supposed to... the hell am I supposed to do with this thing? It's so RNG whether or not the game will let you hit it. Infinite Factory and Core, typically I would consider them to be good gear spots, just because the density of elites in these areas is very high compared to everything you've been doing thus far in the game. See, and that one just gets clapped instantly. I love it. Praise RNGesus. And that like shock CC that the bots put on you is so nasty. Damn, didn't even get my extreme token back. Yeah, sometimes plunder lets you down a little bit, but that's just the RNG of a loot-based skill, I guess. Man, the spin is really nice like that to just sort of cover your butt. But I like that the enemies aren't programmed to just kind of wander through it mindlessly. They run out of it and so on, but then that allows you to kind of paint them into a corner. Oh, merci beaucoup. Pardon me, just drinking some water. I forgot how nice and fast the EXP comes in. Oh, halfway to that next level already. So. Not worried at all about whether or not I will have that skill for the boss fight. The question is whether or not that skill is going to be any good. But it should be. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the numbers on it. Some skills in this game, like the numbers are just off. Yeah, shit just don't add up. Like, you know, when you factor in the casting speed and you you know, anything else it has going for it, and you just find that it's like, you know, it could do twice the damage that it does and still not be the greatest. And that's one of those things I was talking about, possible challenge run with Rogue. Using energy overflow, that's one of those abilities. It's just like you max it, it takes almost 20 skill points to max, and it's just kind of like a not particularly great AoE that does, I don't know, like 100 damage or something. Which is like 100 damage for an AoE, not necessarily terrible. If you have some other way to buff the damage, or maybe get some crits, or attack speed if it comes out fast, maybe you have a way to boost your attack speed, you know, various possibilities.
Don't mess with Toad.
But Rogue doesn't really have any of those apart from Critical Strike, which I'm not even sure if that applies to like an energy-based attack. You would hope it does, but either way, Juggernaut has an ability that's very similar, where it's just like a 360 energy radial. And I think the idea is that, like, oh, okay, if there's an immune to physical enemy, you know, you have a tool that you can use to kill them. You have different damage types, and it's like, yeah, but if you just lean more so into the physical damage that you do, I get a little bit nervy around these robots. They can CC you for so long, and then if a couple of them blast you, or like one of them CCs you or something, or if they have enhanced damage or whatever, they can shred you pretty badly. And see, like, sometimes the game just will not let you move. It literally would not let me move there. I was like hung up on something. It was like I was trying to walk into solid terrain, but there was no terrain there. It's an old game. It's not perfect, but it is free. You can probably run it on your mobile phone and download it in 30 seconds. It's like, you know, I don't even. It's like a couple of gigabytes or something. And Abandonware, you can literally just type in download X-Men Legends 2 on Google, and you'll have a download link in like the first 3 links. No sign-ups, no funny business. Just a decent old game that is now completely free. It's strange though. I don't know how it becomes Abandonware, because it was Raven Software that made it, and Raven Software still exists, or did they not? Does the distributor buy the rights to it or something? I don't know how all this stuff works. But yeah, we're gonna sell some equipment, make some space. I went the wrong way because I'm a master of this game. I've been playing it for 2 decades, so of course I went the wrong way.
Did you want?
Fabulous. Yeah.
Did you need help with anything?
We're gonna hold on to that. It's gonna be a little less. Oh wait, hold on. I did just get level 28. What am I doing? Okay, so now we have Le Noxious Lesbiu. So, damn, the physical damage is really weak. The radiation damage is okay, and it's not damage over time. Typically, radiation damage will be a DOT, where it's like, it does 200 radiation damage over 3 seconds, and you can't stack more than one of them. So in that context, radiation damage in this game is best seen as a debuff. Okay, so that's that ability. At least it just shoots in a straight line. If I need to poke something, if I need to aggro something, I have my tool for that now. So now I think I can actually go into this last section where the boss is. And these guys will come. They'll be like, we did more security. Shut out the squad. And the classic. Send reinforcements, and then the reinforcements get ambushed. Boop, boop, boop.
You have
Now you know, don't mess with Toad.
Okay. I'm just seeing what my buttons are. Okay, that's not going to work on that. Wonderful to know.
Don't have enough energy.
I hate these things so much.
Don't have enough energy. Arm large and arm charge.
So that definitely does a DOT. I'm not entirely certain how it works, but...
Arm large and arm in charge.
It's really bad for breaking objects, which is fortunate. I was kind of hoping that it might be good for it because it would have helped me a lot in this coming boss fight.
Give me someone else to hit.
it's just hard for it to feel like value compared to an ability that leaves, you know, a lingering DOT that can,
And Toad wins again.
you know, kill multiple enemies. And if it gets something into hit stun, it's a pretty consistent one-shot, which I like. I mean, and effectively a one-shot. It's like a, well, they would call it like a touch of death, where they're stun locked until they die, so they can't really hurt you. But it's thirsty EP-wise.
I'm in charge.
And we are almost done here.
No, don't mess with Toad.
And that seems like a pretty much go-to strat with this build, is just like sit yourself in a corner and make a little death pit of xenomorph acid. Or, if you can, bait stuff into a choke. Unfortunately, auto-target in this game goes absolutely... I'm not supposed to use that word, but becomes just phenomenally worthless, incompetent, absolutely fucking useless when there are mixed elevations. It's always suspect. It's never great auto-targeting in this game, because it is a console port. But, oh my god, it's so disgustingly bad on anything but like level elevation. And there is a danger disc in here somewhere. There's no reason for me to actually look for it, but just can't resist the urge to be a loot goblin. It is a powerful urge. And here we are, coming up on the boss. It'll take an hour and a half, assuming I don't die. And I suspect the last act will probably only take 40 minutes or something, but I could just throw in some danger missions and stuff like that at the start, you know.
Give me someone else to hit.
And I'm getting a little bit quiet because I guess I used to do long streams. I think I even did a 24-hour stream back when I was streaming Warframe and it was all new to me, but I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm sick, a little bit dehydrated or something. My brain's just not. You know, I'm trying to keep up my patter and talk about stuff, but it's one of those funny things when I have stuff to talk about. It takes me so long to finish a point because I'll be like, oh well, the thing about this character is, and then there's 3 sidetracks and diversions and switchbacks and you know before I actually like. You know, 7 other things get explained before we actually discuss what the thing about this character is. And I'm so bad at stuff like that. But it's like when I have stuff to talk about, I have so much stuff to talk about that I can't even settle on one topic. And then other times, I have nothing. My head is literally empty. But I guess, it's like, I don't know if anyone here has seen the Maltese Falcon. Like, Gottman says. What is it he says? Something about talking isn't something you can do judiciously unless you keep in practice. He's like, the more you talk, the better you are at talking, which makes sense. And I guess you just kind of have to force it out sometimes and yap about nothing for a little bit, and then eventually you'll catch on to something. I'm like flat out of energy, but that's fine. I just want to break all these barrels. We'll go buy some energy. I guess that's just part of our build, is we're energy hungry, but we also have our loot ability, so you know, if we have to spend a bit of money, it's fine. I am a little bit nervous about this boss fight. This is just one of those boss fights where you can just die. What I should do though is I want to get leap attack. So many skill points just to get this ability that's basically a utility, but as you can see, it gives you some movement. It also knocks back enemies. So you can do a melee build with Toad if you want. Like, you can build him around Hammer Kick and Leap Attack with Secretion and Critical Strike. And he'll be perfectly good. Just because Secretion is so freaking good. And just the numbers on his skills are like, you know, they're correct. But Secretion is so good because it's one of those things where it's like, alright, it's like, you probably saw it to some extent in the Sabretooth playthrough, and I would have made note of it at the time, which is basically like, okay, so let's say you have this ability that with one skill point, it hits a 2-shot breakpoint on most enemies, but you would need to invest 17 skill points in it for it to hit a 1-shot breakpoint. And then, even then, there are some enemies that weren't one-shot, and it depends on your gear and blah, 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 right? But now it's like, let's say you have some ability that makes you attack 50% faster, and you leave it at 1 So you have to two-shot everything, but you two-shot everything 50% faster. Well, in terms of bang for your buck, for what you're getting from your skill points, if you have somewhere good to put those 18 other skill points that would be used chasing this kind of illusory one-shot breakpoint, it's going to set you up really nicely. And that's, you know, it's like, I've never done that math on the breakpoints in this game, but, you know, you can tell just by playing that things like attack speed, really strong, and then it's like, if it means that I can like leave a attack ability at low level, hold on. Yeah, so the first thing we want to do is we actually kind of want to ignore these guys a little bit if we can. It's going to be difficult because they'll throw a lot of CC at us. And that is the main worry, is that freeze, but we've gotten pretty lucky with it. So you can, particularly, and then the slow. And yeah, he can just chain CC you with it. Luckily, oh my gosh. But yeah, I'm not too worried about it now. It's those like initial 10 seconds. If you can survive. You should be fine. But yeah, we did it, and we were okay. Secretion certainly helps. Mobility is very strong in any kind of game. Like just having the ability to like physically avoid an attack outright. It's not a cooldown, it's not a skill, it's not anything, it's just... It whiffs because you weren't there anymore. You moved. The faster you move, the more you get to do that. The more easily you can do that. And the less dangerous a lot of things become. But that was relatively smooth. We should be able to get some props here. Yeah. The EXP, very nice. Make the same conversation with Angel. We should get a bit of EXP off him. Then I can sell.
Congratulations. Wow. Yeah.
He didn't give us EXP. What a crap. And there we go. Unlocked the third.
Did you want?
And final mission for this act. I don't know why I didn't mean to like make a really big deal of saying final mission, like, ooh, final mission. This is like moved weirdly at the time I said it, came out strange. Anyway, I'll be saving here, wrapping this up, and yeah, we'll be back. I shall finish Act 3 tomorrow, probably do some danger room missions. Let me see what we even have here. We have qualifying exam, blah blah blah. We have qualifying exam 200. I could do that now, just get rid of it. But yeah, that's kind of wasting time, not... Anyway. We'll worry about this next time. I'm yawning my head off. As I said, I am quite sick. And I'll take off. Catch up with you guys tomorrow. Thanks to anyone who did watch. Let me just save. Just in case the game crashes. And do my end screen.